Welcome back. It's news across Nigeria on Channels Television. And of course, all our top stories and other news, of course, can be found on our website. That's channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Do visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. Now, you can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones, and that's from their respective stores. And don't forget, we urge you to please interact with the Eyewitness feature in the Channels TV app, which is on the Android, iOS and Windows platforms. So if you have pictures or videos that you would like to share with us, or wherever you are, or just tap the application on your device, then swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu. And once you've done that, remember to always follow the instructions. All right, our state in focus today is looking at Ogun State. Well, it's a state that is in the southwest region of the country, Nigeria. It was created back in 1976 with the motto known as the Gateway State. Ogun State is named after the Ogun River, which runs across it from north to south. It is also bordered east by Ondo State, north by Oyo and Osun, west by the Republic of Benin, and south by Lagos, the nation's commercial nerve center. But the natural resources in Ogun State include limestone, phosphate, granite, gypsum, bitumen, feldspar, clay, glass, sand kaolin, quartz, and tar sand. The vegetation will include crops such as oil palm, rice, kola nut, cocoa, cotton, cassava, cocoyam, and of course vegetables. All right, now let's move over to Akwa Ibom, where reactions continue to trail the recent visit of the Department of State Services, that's the DSS, to the Akwa Ibom State Government House. Now, the latest is coming from the Elders Forum in that state, where the group comprising political leaders and statesmen across the 3 senatorial districts condemned the act, describing it as a deliberate act of intimidation and harassment of the government and people of Akwa Ibom. Well, the Elders Forum, led by the former military administrator of the state, Air Commodore Indojisit Nkaga, retired, appealed to the president to call the agency to order and restrain them from involving themselves in activities that could upset the polity.
The partisan nation in which this federal agency had been interfering with normal procedural matters is becoming very worrisome and requires immediate intervention before it gets out of hand. The strong arm show exhibited by the invading team, which held the entire government house complex and the adjoining areas of Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital, to ransom, is a clear evidence that the action was not just a routine surveillance, but a calculated attempt at intimidating the governor and his government in the face of the federal might.
The Governor Tanko Al-Makura of Nasarawa State has approved 25 million naira for the construction of a temporary settlement camp for the riverine community of Guto in Nasarawa local government area. The intervention follows the early warning of flooding by the Federal Ministry of Environment to coastal communities. Guto community lies on the banks of River Benue from the Nasarawa axis. And after an air surveillance of the coastal communities, the state governor promised to relocate the palace of Ochiagatu and resettlement camps at least 6 kilometers from the riverbanks.
We're trying to provide, apart from accommodation facilities and utilities that will make their stay there comfortable. They may just be there for a few days, 3, 4, 5 days, When the rain subsides, then they will go back to their abode, because they didn't want to relocate. They don't want to migrate from their initial place. There was nothing we didn't do. They didn't want to migrate. So they're entitled to self-determination. We have left them, but we have to take care of their safety and life. So we have provided about 25 million, which will be given through the chairman, Nasarawa local government, together with the chief of Guto, for the purposes of building long halls that people can relocate once the flood comes.
Nasarawa State Governor there, Tanko Al-Makura. Well, still on flood alerts, this time the Anambra State Governor, Willie Obiano, says the state is prepared, or also prepared, for the imminent flooding anticipated in the state. He made this known after a meeting with the Anambra State Council of Traditional Rulers and the security chiefs. He also advised residents in Anambra to take the flood alert seriously by taking proper precaution.
There will be a major flood this time, and the preparedness, it was an opportunity to explain to them what the state government is doing, jointly with the Army, Navy, Police, Red Cross, SEMA, and what have you. That we are very ready. We've identified places, high points that the flood victims can use, and we are putting facilities to ensure that we're not taken by surprise by the quantum of things. But will there be flood? There will be very serious flood this time, probably the highest ever. So people must, take this warning that we've been dishing out seriously and listen carefully to how they could be saved from this impending doom that is coming.
Well, the governor of Anambra State there, Willie Obiano. Well, we're staying in the southeast part of the country, but not on flood this time. We're talking infrastructure, where indigents of Arondizogu, that's an ancient town in the Delta North and Okigwe local government area of Imo State, have appealed to the federal government to, as a matter of urgency, revisit the once busy and popular Newe Arondizogu and Okigwe Enugu Road that has been left in a dilapidated state close to 2 decades. Now, indigents of the area say the total collapse of the road has brought total economic hardship and poverty to over 20 communities, as the agrarian community now finds it rather difficult to transport their produce to neighboring markets.
This road may be familiar to people who grew up in the southeast in the 80s and 90s. The popular and ever-busy Arondizogu Road in Imo State used to serve as a connecting road to all the southeast and south-south states.
You're coming from Ebonyi State. You come through this road. Even going to Lagos from Ogu is faster through here. Umuahia, all those hinterland, even Akwa Ibom, those coming from Arochukwu side, they pass through here. If you were to build the second Niger Bridge, this is the road that will discharge it.
The 74-kilometer road has been abandoned for years. It's now seen as a death trap to those still brave enough to pass this route.
Since I was born up to today, this road has been like this till today. Even if we are suffering, we don't know what to do because no road to go. If from here to Okigwe, no road. From here to Akwa, no road. I'm going to my farm now to drop my feed for my birds, but it's just hectic. This is I produce eggs. Coming out of here is difficult, and it's just terrible.
The traditional ruler of Iheme Izuogo is worried about the communities that face economic hardship as a result of the road's deplorable state.
Before now, we normally don't go to any station or any, to board a vehicle to Lagos or Abuja. All you need to do, get to this road, you've gotten to where you're going. But over a decade now, it's been like that. It's just been, we are in a total mess. We are really suffering here.
The collapsed road has also affected the popular Ekonimo market, which used to attract traders from different parts of the country to buy farm produce. Most of the land which housed the market is now overgrown by weed.
The state of this road has resulted in the collapse of our economy completely. I have a rice mill that has closed down. My rice farms have collapsed. I have a palm plantation I have harvested. I'm here to look for buyers, but you can see that the market here, the market is practically collapsed.
According to the residents, the road has been awarded by the federal government in the past to different contractors, but is usually abandoned by the contractors shortly after being mobilized.
We understand a lot of money has been advanced to them, but we don't see any activity going on here. And the state of this road has resulted in the collapse of our economy completely.
You find out that if anybody dies in this village during the rainy season, the person will not be buried till late November, December. Our brothers and sisters don't come home again. As I am here, and I came home with a bike because my car cannot pass through this place. So we're hoping that the Federal Minister of Works will revisit this contract.
The state government is not unmindful of the situation. The Chief of Staff to the Imo State government has promised the residents that the roads will receive maximum attention.
The state government has done enough in tackling some of these problems, especially on Federal Road. The assurance I'm giving to people of this area, especially the ones that are on this road, is that this road must be done. The governor himself has taken up with the presidency, and the assurance we got is that this road will be done.
Maximum attention is exactly what this road deserves. But while the residents wait for the federal government intervention, they continue to take their plea to the state authorities to at least put some palliative measures in place.
Well, still to come on news across Nigeria, we'll have more on road infrastructure. This time it's in the south state of Edo. To stay with us.